Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Learn English channel, where learning English is simple, fun, and practical for real life.
Hello, Luma, and hello to everyone listening right now. We are very happy you are here with us today.
Today, we are going to talk about something that every English learner needs to know.
Yes, today's topic is very important. We are going to talk about how to introduce yourself in English.
Exactly. Many people feel nervous when someone asks them a simple question.
That question is, tell me about yourself.
It sounds like a very easy question.
But many people suddenly forget what to say.
Yes, their mind becomes empty.
They just say, hello, my name is, and then they stop.
That happens to many English learners.
But don't worry, today we will help you learn how to introduce yourself step by step.
And by the end of this episode, you will know exactly what to say.
But before we start today's lesson, we have a small request for you.
Yes, if you enjoy learning English with us, please take a second to like this video.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Learn English channel.
We make many English learning videos to help you improve your speaking and listening skills.
Also, share this video with a friend who is learning English.
Learning English is always easier when you practice together.
Okay, Luma, I think we are ready to start.
Yes, let's begin with the most basic step.
The first thing you say when introducing yourself is your name.
Exactly. This is the simplest and most important part.
For example, you can say, hello, my name is Paul.
Or you can say, hi, I'm Luma.
Both sentences are correct.
My name is a little more formal.
And I'm is more casual and natural.
Most people use I'm in daily conversation.
Now, after saying your name, what should you say next?
Usually, people say where they are from.
That is a very common part of an introduction.
For example, I'm Luma and I'm from Bangladesh.
Or, I'm Paul and I'm from Canada.
Very simple and clear.
You don't need long, complicated sentences.
Simple English is always better.
I remember a funny situation last year.
Oh, really? What happened?
I met a new neighbor in my building.
And did you introduce yourself?
Yes, but I was a little nervous.
What did you say?
I said, hello, my name is Paul and I live here.
That sounds normal.
But then I forgot what to say next.
That happens sometimes.
So I just smiled and said, nice to meet you.
Actually, that is a perfect sentence.
Really?
Yes, because nice to meet you is a very friendly phrase.
It shows that you are happy to meet the other person.
And it helps the conversation continue.
That makes sense.
Now let's talk about the next step of introducing yourself.
After your name and your country, people often talk about their job or studies.
Exactly.
For example, you can say, I work as a teacher.
Or I am a student.
Very simple.
Let me give another example.
Okay,
Hi, I'm Luma. I'm from Bangladesh and I'm a university student.
that sounds very natural.
Yes, it's short but complete.
I like introductions that are simple and clear.
Me too. Sometimes people try to use very difficult English.
But that is not necessary.
Simple English is powerful.
Now, let's talk about another important part of introductions.
What is that?
Talking about your hobbies.
Ah, yes. Hobbies make conversations interesting.
Exactly.
For example, someone can say, I enjoy playing football.
Or, I like reading books.
That helps people know more about you.
And it also creates conversation topics.
For example, if someone says they like music,
Then you can ask them what kind of music they like.
exactly. Conversations become natural.
Now, we want to ask our listeners something.
Yes.
We love hearing from you.
If you are watching this video right now,
Write the word hello in the comments.
and also tell us your name.
We would love to see where our viewers are from.
Maybe we have listeners from many different countries.
That would be amazing.
Now, let's continue with our lesson.
Sometimes people also talk about their family when introducing themselves.
Yes, especially in friendly conversations.
For example, you can say, I have 2 brothers.
Or, I have a small family. These small details make your introduction more personal.
And more interesting.
Exactly.
I think introductions should feel natural.
Not like a speech.
Just simple sentences about your life.
That is the best way to connect with people.
And remember something important.
What is that?
You don't need perfect English.
Yes, that is very important.
Even simple sentences are enough.
The goal is communication, not perfection.
Not perfection.
If people understand you, that is already a success.
Exactly.
Now, let's make a simple introduction example together.
Good idea.
I will start.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Luma. I'm from Bangladesh.
Nice to meet you, Luma. I'm Paul, and I'm from Canada.
I am a university student and I enjoy reading books.
I work in media, and I love playing guitar.
See, that was very simple.
But it still tells us a lot about each other.
Exactly.
Introductions don't have to be complicated.
Just be friendly and confident.
And don't forget to smile.
Smiling always makes a good impression.
Now, before we continue, we have another question for you.
Yes.
We in the comments tell us 3 things about yourself.
Your name, your country, and one hobby.
For example, my name is Alex, I'm from Brazil, and I love football.
We will read your comments.
And it will be great practice for your English.
Absolutely.
So keep practicing and keep learning.
Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing our conversation about how to introduce yourself in English.
Yes, and in the first part, we talked about the basics, like your name and where you are from.
Exactly. Those are the first 2 things most people say.
But introductions can also include a little bit more information.
Right. For example, many people talk about their work or their studies.
Let's imagine we meet someone at a coffee shop.
Okay.
I say, "Hello, my name is Paul. I'm from Canada."
Then I might say, "Nice to meet you, Paul. I'm Luma. I'm from Bangladesh."
After that, the conversation usually continues.
Yes, someone might ask a simple question.
Like, what do you do?
That means they're asking about your job.
Or your studies.
Exactly.
For example, you can say, I work as a teacher.
Or I'm a university student.
Very simple sentences.
And very common in everyday conversations.
I remember my first day at a new workplace.
Oh, really? Tell us about it.
I had to introduce myself to many new people.
That sounds stressful.
It was a little bit scary at first.
What did you say?
I said, hello everyone, my name is Paul. I'm new here and I work in the media department.
That sounds perfect.
I tried to keep it simple.
And that is the best strategy.
Yes, because simple English is easier to understand.
And it makes you feel more confident.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about something that makes introductions more interesting.
What is that?
Talking about your hobbies.
Ah, yes. Hobbies are great conversation starters.
People love talking about what they enjoy.
For example, someone might say, in my free time, I like playing football.
Or I enjoy reading books.
Maybe someone likes cooking.
Or traveling.
When you talk about hobbies, conversations become more natural.
Because people can relate to your interests.
Exactly.
Let's create another example introduction.
Good idea.
Hello, my name is Luma. I'm from Bangladesh.
Nice to meet you, Luma. I'm Paul.
I'm a university student, and in my free time, I like reading books.
That's interesting. I enjoy playing guitar.
See, now we already have something to talk about.
Yes, the conversation can continue.
Maybe I ask you what kind of music you like.
And maybe I ask what kind of books you read.
Exactly.
Introductions are like opening a door.
A door to a conversation.
Once the door is open, communication becomes easier.
I like that idea.
Me too.
Now let's talk about another small but useful detail in introductions.
What detail?
Talking about your goals.
Ah, future goals.
Yes.
For example, someone might say, I'm learning English because I want to work abroad.
Or I want to travel around the world.
Sharing goals makes your introduction meaningful.
And it shows motivation.
People respect that.
Definitely.
Let's make one more example introduction.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Paul. I'm from Canada.
Nice to meet you, Paul. I'm Luma from Bangladesh.
I work in media and I enjoy playing guitar.
I'm a student and I love reading books.
That's interesting. I am learning new languages too.
That's great. I'm learning English to improve my career.
See how natural that sounds?
Yes, it feels like a real conversation.
That is the goal.
Exactly.
Remember something important.
What is it?
You don't need perfect grammar.
Communication is more important than perfection.
Yes,
If people understand you, your introduction is successful.
and confidence will grow over time.
Practice is the key.
The more you speak, the easier it becomes.
Even small conversations help.
Talking to friends helps.
Talking to teachers helps.
Even talking to yourself can help.
Yes, practicing alone can build confidence.
Now, before we continue to the next part, we have another question for our listeners.
Yes.
The question is simple.
What is your favorite hobby?
For example, you can write, "My hobby is playing football."
Or I enjoy watching movies.
Writing comments is great English practice.
And we love reading them.
Now, Luma, I have a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
What is your favorite hobby?
I really enjoy reading books.
What kind of books do you like?
I like books about history and personal development.
That sounds interesting. What about you, Paul? My favorite hobby is playing guitar.
How long have you been playing guitar?
For about 3 years.
That's impressive.
I'm still learning though.
Learning never stops.
That is very true.
Now, let's talk about another small but useful detail in introductions.
What detail?
Talking about your goals.
Future goals.
Yes.
For example, someone might say, "I'm learning English because I want to work abroad."
Or I want to travel around the world.
Sharing goals makes your introduction meaningful.
And it shows motivation.
People respect that.
Definitely.
Let's make one more example introduction.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Paul. I'm from Canada.
Nice to meet you, Paul. I'm Luma from Bangladesh.
I work in media and I enjoy playing guitar.
I'm a student and I love reading books.
That's interesting. I am learning new languages too.
That's great. I'm learning English to improve my career.
See how natural that sounds?
Yes, it feels like a real conversation.
That is the goal.
Exactly.
Remember something important.
What is it?
You don't need perfect grammar.
Communication is more important than perfection.
Yes,
If people understand you, your introduction is successful.
and confidence will grow over time.
Practice is the key.
The more you speak, the easier it becomes.
Even small conversations help.
Talking to friends helps.
Talking to teachers helps.
Even talking to yourself can help.
Yes, practicing alone can build confidence.
Now, before we continue to the next part, we have another question for our listeners.
Yes.
Imagine you meet a new person today.
What would you say to introduce yourself?
Write your introduction in the comments.
Just 3 or 4 sentences.
For example, "Hello, my name is Ahmed. I'm from Egypt. I'm a student and I enjoy football."
That is perfect practice.
And we will read your introductions
It will help you improve your English.
and build confidence.
Exactly. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing our discussion about how to introduce yourself in English.
Yes, and so far we talked about your name, where you are from, your job, and your hobbies.
Exactly. Those are the most common things people say when they introduce themselves.
But sometimes introductions can happen in different situations,
That's true. For example, meeting someone at a party,
or meeting someone for the first time at work.
or even meeting someone online.
Yes, introductions can happen anywhere.
So it is very helpful to practice how to introduce yourself naturally.
Let's imagine a situation.
Okay.
You are at a small event or a meeting.
And someone new comes to talk to you.
They say, "Hi, I don't think we have met before."
That is a very common sentence.
Yes, and it is a good opportunity to introduce yourself.
You can respond by saying, "Hello, my name is Luma."
And I might say, "Nice to meet you, Luma. I'm Paul."
After that, the conversation can continue.
Usually, people ask simple questions,
Like, where are you from?
or "What do you do?"
These are very normal questions in conversation.
And they help people know each other better.
Now, let's talk about confidence.
Confidence is very important when introducing yourself.
Even if your English is not perfect,
Speaking clearly and confidently helps a lot.
sometimes people are afraid of making mistakes.
But mistakes are part of learning.
Exactly.
I remember when I first started speaking English in public.
Were you nervous?
Very nervous.
What happened?
I had to introduce myself at a small workshop.
That sounds stressful.
I stood up and said, "Hello, everyone. My name is Paul."
That is a good start.
Then I accidentally said I am working in media since 5 years.
Small grammar mistake.
Yes,
it should have been 5 years.
But people still understood you.
Exactly.
That is the important part.
Communication is more important than perfect grammar.
Many English learners worry too much about mistakes.
But most people just want to understand you.
And if you are friendly, people will enjoy talking to you.
That is very true.
Another good tip is to speak slowly,
Yes, speaking slowly helps pronunciation.
and it gives you time to think.
When people speak too fast, they sometimes make more mistakes.
Slow and clear speaking is always better.
Let's practice another introduction example.
Good idea.
Hello, my name is Paul. I'm from Canada.
Nice to meet you, Paul. I'm Luma from Bangladesh.
I work in media and I enjoy playing guitar.
I'm a student and I like reading books.
I'm also learning new languages.
That's great. I'm learning English to improve my communication skills.
That sounds like a real conversation.
Yes, and it feels natural.
Introductions should feel natural, not like a memorized speech.
Exactly.
Just speak about simple things in your life.
Name, country, job, hobbies.
And maybe one goal or dream.
That is enough for a good introduction.
Now, let's talk about body language.
That is an interesting topic.
Body language also affects introductions.
For example, smiling.
Yes, smiling makes people feel comfortable.
Eye contact is also important.
Looking at the person when you speak shows confidence.
But don't stare too much.
Yes, natural eye contact is best.
Another important thing is posture.
Standing or sitting straight shows confidence.
Even small things can change how people see you.
That is very true.
Now, let's ask our audience another question.
Yes, we love hearing from our listeners.
Here's the question. When was the last time you introduced yourself in English?
Maybe at school,
Maybe at work.
or maybe in an online class.
Write your answer in the comments.
And tell us what you said.
This will help you practice writing in English.
And it will help you remember useful sentences.
Now, Luma, I have another question. Go ahead.
Do you remember the first time you introduced yourself in English?
Yes, I remember it very clearly.
What happened?
I was in an English class.
And the teacher asked everyone to introduce themselves.
Exactly.
Were you nervous?
Very nervous.
What did you say?
I said, "Hello, everyone. My name is Luma. I'm from Bangladesh and I like reading books."
That sounds perfect.
It was simple, but it worked.
And that is what matters.
Yes.
Small introductions are the beginning of bigger conversations.
And bigger opportunities.
English introductions can help you make friends,
They can also help you in school.
and even in job interviews.
Exactly.
So practicing introductions is very useful.
The more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Confidence grows step by step.
Just like learning any other skill.
Practice makes progress.
That is a great sentence.
Yes, progress is better than perfection.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move to the final part, we have one more question for our listeners.
Yes.
If you could introduce yourself to someone from another country,
What would you say about yourself?
write 3 sentences in the comments.
For example, "Hello, my name is Sarah. I'm from Egypt and I love traveling."
Short and simple,
That is the best way to practice.
and we will read your answers.
We always enjoy seeing your comments.
They inspire other learners too.
Exactly. Welcome back, everyone. We are now in the final part of our discussion about how to introduce yourself in English.
Yes, and today we have talked about many useful tips.
We started with the basics like your name and where you are from.
Then we talked about your job or your studies.
After that, we talked about hobbies and interests.
And we also talked about confidence when speaking English.
Exactly. All these things help you create a simple and natural introduction.
Many learners think introducing themselves must be complicated.
But that is not true.
The best introductions are simple and clear.
Just a few sentences can tell people a lot about you.
Let's review a simple introduction together.
Good idea.
I will start.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Paul. I'm from Canada.
Nice to meet you, Paul. My name is Luma and I'm from Bangladesh.
I work in media and I enjoy playing guitar in my free time.
I'm a student and I love reading books and learning new things.
See, that was very easy.
Yes, and it sounds natural.
Anyone can practice this type of introduction.
Exactly. Now let's talk about another useful situation.
What situation?
Introducing yourself in a job interview.
That is a very important moment.
Many interviews start with the question, "Tell me about yourself."
Yes, that question appears in almost every interview.
When that happens, you should stay calm.
And give a short and clear answer.
For example, hello, my name is Paul. I have experience in media and communication.
I enjoy working with creative teams and learning new skills.
That is professional and simple.
Exactly.
Even if your English is basic, you can still introduce yourself confidently.
Confidence is more important than perfect grammar.
I agree. Now let's talk about something many learners forget:
What is that?
your smile.
Ah, yes. Smiling makes a big difference.
When you smile, people feel comfortable.
And conversations become more friendly.
A simple smile can make your introduction warmer.
That is very true.
Another tip is to speak clearly.
Speaking slowly helps people understand you better.
Yes, don't rush your sentences.
Take your time.
Confidence grows when you practice.
Practice is the secret to improvement.
Even practicing alone can help.
You can practice in front of a mirror.
Or practice with a friend.
You can even record your voice.
Listening to your own voice helps improve pronunciation.
That is a great tip.
Now, we want to involve our audience again.
Yes, we always enjoy hearing from our listeners.
Here is today's question for you.
In the comments, introduce yourself in English.
Tell us 3 simple things:
Your name
your country.
and one hobby you enjoy.
For example, hello, my name is Ali. I'm from Pakistan and I enjoy playing cricket.
Or, hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Spain and I love cooking.
These small introductions are great practice.
And reading other comments can help you learn new words.
Exactly. Now, Luma, let me ask you something.
Sure,
Why do you think introductions are so important?
because introductions are the first step to communication.
That is true. When you introduce yourself, you open the door to new conversations.
And new friendships.
Exactly.
English introductions can help you meet people from around the world.
That is one of the best parts of learning English.
It connects people from different cultures.
And different countries.
Communication builds understanding.
That is a beautiful thing.
I agree.
Before we finish today's episode, let's quickly review what we learned.
Good idea.
First, start with your name.
Second, say where you are from.
Third, talk about your job or studies.
Fourth, mention a hobby or interest.
And finally, speak clearly and confidently.
Remember, your introduction does not need to be perfect.
It just needs to be honest and friendly.
Every conversation is a chance to practice.
And every practice helps you improve.
We hope today's discussion helped you feel more confident.
Learning English step by step makes a big difference.
Thank you so much for listening today.
And thank you for being part of the Learn English community.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like the video.
And subscribe to the Learn English channel.
Also, share this episode with a friend who is learning English.
We love helping learners around the world improve their English.
And don't forget to write your introduction in the comments.
We are excited to read about you.
Your English journey matters to us.
Keep practicing and keep learning every day.
Small steps lead to big progress.
See you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.